So in the Israeli-Palestinian issue, of course, both sides blame each other, and unfortunately, there's a lot of hate to go around. And this story is not about who you should hate, who's wrong, who's evil, which side is more culpable. Now, yesterday I did a segment on what Israel should do. Now I want to talk to the Palestinians. So I have said in every single instance that we've discussed this, that the violence on the side of Hamas, firing rockets, killing civilians, is wrong, it's immoral, but also it's stupid and counterproductive. You're never going to outgun the Israelis. I mean, how ridiculous an idea is that? Besides which, it's not the right way to win, and it's not the moral way to win. You have the moral high ground because you've been occupied for 47 years. I'm talking to Palestinians now, right? But when Hamas goes in there and does violence, they destroy your moral high ground. Now, you think it doesn't matter, but God, how many times throughout history have people been told, oh, trying to win a battle with just having the moral high ground, it's not practical, it's not realistic. They told Gandhi that, they told Nelson Mandela that, and they told Martin Luther King that. And I want to give you his answer, because I think it's the best answer there is for what you can do. Now, again, whether you agree or don't agree that Palestinians are the victims in this case, or they're right to hate the Israelis, the ones that do. Certainly there are a lot of people in that occupied territories who do have those feelings. And that's what Dr. King addresses here, of course, in his own context at the time. He said, there's another reason why you should love your enemies, and that is because hate distorts the personality of the hater. We usually think of what hate does for the individual hated, or the individuals hated, or the groups hated. But it is even more tragic. It is even more ruinous and injurious to the individual who hates. He went on to say, returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And he was giving a whole speech on why not to hate, why to love even your oppressors, people you believe are your oppressors. He said a third reason why we should love our enemies is that love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. We never get rid of an enemy by meeting hate with hate. We get rid of an enemy by getting rid of enmity. It is, by its very nature, love creates and builds up. Love transforms with redemptive power. Now, I remind you here that Martin Luther King Jr. did not lose. He won. We got the Civil Rights Act largely because of the movement that Martin Luther King was a part of and led. This is not some happy-go-lucky talk about love versus hate, darkness versus light. This is talk that worked. Now, as you see in the date there, that was in 1957. It took a long time to win. He didn't at least get that piece of legislation until 7 years later. But every time he was met by hate and oppression, he returned it with kindness and love. It is so bold, it's so foresightful, it's so smart, as well as moral, that I can't believe somebody is this good. I'm certainly nowhere near this good. I get angry, and I want to strike out, right? I wouldn't have had anywhere near this kind of vision. Let me finish it for you. He also said, to our most bitter opponents, we say, we shall match your capacity to inflict suffering by our capacity to endure suffering. We shall meet your physical force with soul force. Do to us what you will, and we shall continue to love you. We cannot in all good conscience obey your unjust laws, because non-cooperation with evil is as much a moral obligation as is cooperation with good. Throw us in jail, and we shall still love you. Bomb our homes and threaten our children, and we shall still love you. But be ye assured that we will wear you down by our capacity to suffer. One day we shall win freedom, but not only for ourselves. We shall so appeal to your heart and conscience that we shall win you in the process, and our victory will be a double victory. I can't add anything to that. That was not only the most moral thing to do, it was also the best strategy there was. If you're a Palestinian, you're never going to outgun the Israelis. You're never going to out-weaponize them. You're never going to outfight them. But you can take the moral high ground. And for example, and this is hard and it is dangerous, you can continue to walk into settlements. What will they do? They're not going to let you walk into settlements, even though it's in the West Bank. It's in occupied territory. They will arrest you. They will beat you. And people will see it the world over. And some of you will get killed. Easy for me to say here. It takes tremendous courage to do it. But you keep walking into settlements, not with any force, not even with rocks. You never raise your hand in anger, okay? And if you're in the Gaza Strip, keep trying to walk across the border. They're not going to let you do it, I know. So do it day in, day out. If the entire Gaza Strip has to be arrested and beaten, do it again and again. And at some point, as Martin Luther King won, and Mahatma Gandhi won, and Nelson Mandela won, you will win your freedom. Violence is not the answer. This is the answer.